It's just all about how you, like you said, how you accept the challenge and how you take on the opportunity. If you take it on head first and you make the best out of your situation, it can't get worse. It's only gonna get better.
So how'd you find your love for basketball, and what other sports did you play before you settled on hooping?
I got into basketball after I solely put down the football due to some changes in my life at the time, but it led me to basketball, and I ended up finding a different type of love of basketball than I did in football. I ran track, third grade. I ran for a team back in my city. I played a little T-ball, but I followed track all the way into high school. But and I was a football guy my whole life, and then I just ended up sticking with basketball and track through my whole high school career. But basketball kind of worked out for me, but at the same time, it was still kind of hard trying to promote myself at those times.
So how was your recruiting process, and then what made you decide to take the JuCo route?
I really came onto the scene, at least in my state, I was unknown. A lot of those cats they came up in the basketball grassroots of Alabama, or the South, I should say. So I'm coming in unknown, so I had to really work 10, 20 times harder than the next man. My 10th grade, I had a decent 10th grade year. Going into my 11th grade season, I go play in Montgomery. I go play in Georgia, and that's when I'm starting to get these looks. But on that side, I did not make the grades. After I quit football, it just, things, I really didn't know what it was next. My GPA was torn, so that led me to the junior college route. And anybody know anything about junior college, you kind of, as a high school kid, that's not where you're trying to go. You hear about the Duke, you hear about the Kentucky. That's what I got on my mind. I got schools like Kansas State recruiting me, but my grades so bad, so the only thing I got is JuCo. I had to be real with a lot of D1 schools that recruit me and tell them I was not going to qualify. So I ended up going to junior college, and it probably was the best decision for me, honestly, as a student, as a man.
What was a misconception that you had coming to a JuCo, and then what was it like playing for Eastern Mississippi?
Coming into junior college, I'm thinking I'm coming through like I'm finna tear it up. My first year, I'm like, I'm finna tear these dudes up, and I didn't realize that the competition was just so. Whatever level you at, D1, D2, D3, you gonna have some ball players. And I ran into some ball players, and I had to have a reality check at a young age. Like, you gotta realize, establish yourself. You gotta realize outwork the next man in the weight room, classroom, eating right, and then on top of staying on top of your stuff on the court, getting your shots, and just keeping yourself above, because at the college level, everybody trying to eat. Kind of like a blessing and a curse, because that was first when Last Chance University came around. Everybody know about that. It's not like, the basketball team was getting spotlight, but it kind of like at the same time, off the football team, we kind of gained a little spotlight at the same time. Because I'm wearing my shirts. Everybody, oh, that's Last Chance. You play basketball for them. And then, we had a great media team too at my junior college. So they would push a lot of stuff on YouTube. And they had over 50,000 subscribers just off Last Chance U. So anytime they pushing our videos, we getting, pretty decent amount of views on there. So I believe that also helped me as exposure. But I came around the right time to get noticed. And now I see the Last Chance U, they got a basketball series now. So like you said, junior college, they shedding the light on junior college. As when I was coming in, it was all word of mouth. I heard about the Shelton States, the Northwest Floridas, but I never really understood about going into detail and how good this level actually was.
After Eastern Mississippi, another opportunity presented itself, but it didn't work out. So how'd you bounce back, and what new door opened for you?
I signed a scholarship to Southern. I had a great summer, in my opinion. I believe my coaches could vouch for me. I had a great summer, but my mental health I wasn't in, I was still battling with a lot of stuff that I couldn't hide. You know, I could not hide what I was going through. I just ran from a lot of problems, and at the time, I just wasn't in the mind state to actually go to college at the time. So right after I left Southern, so about a month after I left Southern, I did actually enroll. I actually enrolled in life. But once again, running. I went for one day, I went to class. I didn't even go to class. I moved all my stuff in, and then by that 12 p.m., I moved everything out and I went back home. And that's when I started my 6 months, like at the house. But I actually was at life, left. But then Coach Rich, he stayed on me. He was always like, want to hoop, like let me know. So he stayed with me. And I ended up like, you know what, man, you know, somebody actually hit you up more than one time. They really care about you. They want to see, you know, and they believe in you in some type of way. So I ended up, I was like, man, you know, I'm gonna go to life. And, you know, at this point, this is my last chance, in my opinion. This is my last chance. I'm not really seeking to go anywhere else. It's close. It's in Atlanta. I stay an hour and 20 away. I said, well, let's do it. And now we got the ball rolling. And I couldn't look back from that. I had some, you know, some bumpy roads in college, like just like the next man would. But once I got in my lane, I had to stay in it.
After all is said and done, what's the biggest takeaway from your journey?
Biggest takeaways I got was just never giving up. And I know that sounds just so cliche to say, like, don't give up, but it you know, it actually, that's exactly what it means. Don't give up. Like, if you got a crowd to the finish line and everybody in their grandmama done finish before you, then do it. So I try to, you know, everything I try to start, I finish. And I'm 2017, I lost my first cousin, Andrew Foster. I got him on my arm right here. I lost him to gun violence. I lost my blood brother, Courtney Devon Horton. And it just, you know, all those things came at me at one time. You know, that's a 2-year span where I lose my first and then I lose my second. Then leaving Southern in those times, like I had a dark cloud over my head, but one thing that you have to keep doing is keep going. So that's really kind of what motivated me was seeing my people die at a young age. And I was like, I gotta do something. So I started this school stuff. I'm gonna finish it.
What are your next steps?
I wanna stay close to the game or some type of sports. As of right now, it could be any sport. Honestly, I just want to stay close. The degree that I'm pursuing now is to learn a little bit more about mental health and sports and just the psychology of things. You know, also got little other things. I really like. I'm into wholesaling, so I want to wholesale houses. But that's my long-term goal. I want to be able to buy and flip houses, and that's one of my dreams right there too.
Well, boys, we hit the jackpot this time.
So we're playing this or that, and the rules are pretty simple. I'll give you 2 scenarios, and you pick the choice that you'd rather go with. And as always, the choices are personal, so don't take them personal. Who's more likely to win the finals? The Brooklyn Nets or the Los Angeles Lakers?
I'm gonna say the Lakers. I just feel like at this moment right now, they got too much willpower. It's too much. It's just too much on one team. You know what I'm saying? You ever see a team like when you playing whatever sport you're doing, you look down there and you just see them, you like, yeah, we finna get beat up today. It's just one of them situations. Like, they just got too much, in my opinion.
If you had the opportunity, what school would you have signed to? Alabama or UCLA?
Me, personally, I would go to UCLA because I like to see different things. And LA is probably like a city that I feel like it probably suits me well. I like LA and Alabama. I mess with their basketball team, but anything outside of that basketball team, I don't approve.
If you could get an NIL endorsement, which one would you take? Waffle House or Cookout?
I don't know, me and Waffle had to go together. You know what I'm saying? Since like Travis Porter something. At the Waffle House, 20 salsa biscuit. Hold on, excuse me, man. We'll come on the salsa biscuit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just fool with the Waffle House.
If you could go back and undo one sports moment, which one would you choose? 28-3 or D Rose's injury?
I'm gonna have to go with D Rose because he was something different. And plus Atlanta, I'm a Falcons. I was a Falcons fan, but I'm through with them. I'm done with the whole organization. It's your boy Cam, and there's no stupid question. I'll put that up right there.